Imagine a world where the sight of a dead animal, the touch of a serpent, or the birth of a child could render you unclean. A world where your very actions and the natural processes of life and death were tightly governed by an intricate set of rules. This is the world of the ancient Israelites, as described in the biblical books of Leviticus and Numbers. These laws, while often puzzling and sometimes unsettling to modern readers, were central to the spiritual and social fabric of ancient Israelite society. They were not merely arbitrary regulations, but a deeply meaningful system that sought to create a boundary between the sacred and the profane, the clean and the unclean, and ultimately between life and death. The dietary laws, for instance, were not just about what was palatable or safe to eat. They were part of a broader theological framework that emphasized the separation from the natural world and the affirmation of life. The prohibition against eating animals that had died naturally, rather than being slaughtered, was rooted in a profound aversion to the natural process of death. In a culture where the sanctity of life was paramount, encountering a dead animal was a stark reminder of mortality and decay, something that needed to be avoided to maintain spiritual purity. Similarly, the laws governing childbirth reflect a deep-seated belief in the power of blood and its association with life and death. When a woman gave birth, she was considered ritually impure for a period of time, a state that required purification rituals. The length of this period varied depending on whether the child was male or female, with a longer period for female children. This difference, while often attributed to a cultural bias against women, may also reflect a more complex understanding of the biological and social roles of each gender. The mother's body, having undergone a significant biological event, needed time to recover and be purified, a process that was seen as essential for the well-being of both the mother and the community. The laws concerning skin diseases, or skin blanch, often translated as leprosy, are perhaps the most vivid and detailed in the text. These laws were not just about hygiene or medical treatment. They were about the potential for impurity to spread and contaminate the community. A person with a skin disease was isolated and subjected to a series of inspections by a priest, who acted as both a medical examiner and a spiritual authority. The process of diagnosis and quarantine was designed to prevent the spread of impurity, but it also had a profound social impact. The person with the disease was separated from the community, a stark reminder of the boundaries between the pure and the impure, the living and the dying. The underlying theme of these laws is the concept of imitatio Dei, or imitating God. Just as God created the world by dividing light from darkness and land from sea, the Israelites were commanded to create a similar order in their daily lives by dividing the clean from the unclean, the sacred from the profane. This was not just about following rules. It was about participating in the divine order of the universe. By adhering to these laws, the Israelites were not only maintaining their own purity, but also contributing to the overall holiness of the community. The laws of Leviticus and Numbers, while rooted in a specific historical and cultural context, offer a window into the ancient Israelites' understanding of the world and their place in it. They were a people who saw the natural world as both a source of life and a constant reminder of death, and they sought to navigate this duality through a system of laws that emphasized purity and holiness. These laws may seem foreign and even alien to modern readers, but they reflect a deep and complex spiritual world, that continues to resonate in various forms today. In conclusion, the laws of Leviticus and Numbers were not just a set of rules, but a way of life that sought to affirm the sanctity of life and the importance of maintaining a clear boundary between the sacred and the profane. They were a reflection of a culture that deeply valued purity and holiness, and they continue to offer insights into the human quest for meaning and order in a world that is both beautiful and fragile.